So really also to try and create something that we can call ours. So I've worked in the past in other businesses as a consultant and then as a director running other people's companies, but it's never really quite the same thing as having something that you can really call your own and you can grow and mould into the business and the company and the team of people that you really see is the most appropriate for what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, I'd agree on that point. There's so many different recruitment agencies out there. They all operate different ways of working, different methods of management. Well, we preferred, in essence, to make us go and set up by ourselves.
We both wanted to try and do something where if we were successful, then we reap the rewards of that. If we weren't, then we kind of have to suck it up and take it on board and move on. The early stages of the business were in your bedroom, effectively.
That's so the whole thing's set up. My bedroom to your garage.
It was the classic recruitment style: take my garage, knock a huge hole through the wall, stick a door in there, and then buy some desks off of Gumtree, I think, if I remember correctly, and a couple of Asda swivel chairs, and that was it, wasn't it? So we started with the two of us, and we hired one person after how many months? 4 months? We stayed at 3 people for another 4 or 5 months after that.
Yep.
And we managed to finally get out of the garage and get some office space, which I think was possibly smaller than the garage.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot bigger, was it?
No,
Slightly better environment.
The smallest
No
office space they
distractions.
had in that building, with it was also the hottest office space they had in the building. The hiring is definitely one of the hardest things that we have to do. So finding experienced people tend to be difficult, and those that we find that are experienced don't always seem to have a kind of the similar mindset to that which we're looking for, and the consultative approach to the day-to-day recruitment that we do. By the end of year 2, we were 9 people strong, including business support and accounts, and 6 sales heads in total. Is that right?
Yeah, six in sales. So yeah, so between sales, business support, and then myself and you, that was 9. 2 separate brands, a nice office in the centre of Wokingham, and yeah, looking to move forward.
So the vision for the group, for me, it was always been the same. It was the same at the very, very start, and it's the same now. I think the only difference at this point, 2 years on for me, is the realisation that actually getting to where we want to be is going to be a whole lot harder than I first envisaged. We have 2 brands as it stands, which is Simply Commerce and Simply Commerce Architecture. The plan's been to grow out the business by brand, with other brands such as mobile or digital marketing coming into the forefront as we move forward. I think that still remains the same in my view.
Yeah, well, completely. So, I mean, as Tim mentioned, we want to have the separate brands to really maintain our USP in the market. So many of our competitors, they are generic IT companies that are starting to try and move into the way of doing business that we're approaching it and the way we're doing it. So we feel as though we've got the head start on them from that front, despite being a new business.
It was really key to try and instill that confidence in our clients that at every step of the way we would try and provide consultation, and also with our candidates we wanted them to feel confident that they would be given the right advice and guidance and not just be shoehorned into the next role for the sake of a fee, because it's really not where we wanted to be.
We pride ourselves on knowing our markets. We pride our consultants to be able to consult with the clients and essentially do what is best at that time for our client. We're a great believer in repeat business, and so far that's proven to be successful, I think, with a number of partnerships we've set up over the 2 years and an ever-growing client base.
Employing Alex, I'd say. I don't think we've ever had anyone quite so interesting in the business in my 12 years doing recruitment. I think one of the other big highlights, introducing the points system. We have a points system for pretty much any stupid comment or action that happens in the office.
So Alex is winning that
Yeah.
by a long way,
I
right?
think I'm on about 60 points over the last year. You're on what, about 70?
No. 70. 25.
25. And Alex is on 190, I think.
At least.
Yeah, in all seriousness, I think the biggest highlight for me was winning the Envoy partnership, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think as a business, we've been trying to develop two-way partnerships with our clients rather than it being a far more one-way relationship where it's very transactional. We've agreed a partnership, a sole supplier agreement with Envoy, and we have a very good relationship with them. They've been one of our best clients over the past 2 years. The biggest challenge, I would say, has got to be convincing clients that we are not like all the other recruitment agencies out there. We are actually trying to be consultative. We are actually trying to deliver an end-to-end service which isn't just purely focused on one thing, which is that end placement. Yes, that's how we as a business create a revenue stream, and that's how we survive and grow. But I think the most important thing is the long-term nature of both our client and candidate relationships.
For me, definitely has been hiring. Obviously, it's a new thing for me. I've not done it before, so that in itself was an experience. Actually conducting my first interview. On top of that, it's actually finding the right talent out there as well.
Not to let me do the forecast.
I agree with that one.
I think that was probably one of the things we might have underestimated, is where we were going to be by the end of year 2. I think our forecast suggested something around about 20 people, which was slightly off from where we ended up.
Obviously, coming from recruitment consultant, not even one with that much experience, to running a company, had a huge change in my lifestyle inside and outside of work. The huge influence of social media, and just the different way I have to approach my job personally.
Fingers crossed it looks all right, as that's where we've positioned the entire business.
Let's hope so, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems to be growing. I can't really see any signs of it slowing down at the moment. Black Friday again was a huge event. All our clients, once again, by kind of the end of the summer, were pretty much desperate to take on PMs, BAs, architects, developers, testers, the whole lot. Then again, the whole contract thing, we must have had a surge by 50-60% in terms of the number of contractors we've placed at the end of the year for the second year in a row. So I would suggest it's looking pretty good.
Constantly growing. I couldn't be in a better space to be in right now. I'm excited for the next 5 years. There's so much innovation happening around our client base, and it's going to have a knock-on effect to us.
It is more hard work, I'd say. I think we've got a long way to go. We're definitely making some inroads, but we have 7 brands to grow out. So we've got another, 7-8 years to go. You okay with that? The best thing about working with James, I think that's the best thing about working has got to be your hair and the various formats in which you come in the morning, with the little bit up here or the little bit out there.
I know that's going to be
That's definitely the best thing. The worst thing about working with you has got to be your inability to listen to me while you're on the phone and type at the same time. So I reckon I've had the same conversation with you about 14 times in a row before, while you're typing away, and then you go, sorry, what was that? What was that? Okay, I'll say the same thing again. Sorry, what was that? I think I've actually hung up on you because I've got so fed up with you not listening.
I think you won't like to admit it, but I think you're like an older Dougie. I wonder where he gets his comments from. And then I realised they're mainly from you. Worst thing, it's got to be the fact that he's never there.